Atmanirbhar Bharat has connect with housing for all, says Prime Minister Modi. A financial assistance worth rupees 2,000 crore released for beneficiaries under PMAY Grameen. Assam election to be held keeping in mind the Rongali Bihu festival and CBSE board exams, says Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora. Home Minister Amit Shah to chair 69th plenary session of North Eastern Council in Shillong on 23rd and 24th January. Budget session of Parliament to begin on 29th of January. And Niti Aayog releases second edition of India Innovation Index 2020 in North Eastern Hills States category. Himachal Pradesh stands as first position, followed by Uttarakhand and Manipur. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin from the studios of DDK Guwahati. This is Hansraj, and now the stories in details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Atmanirbhar Bharat has direct connection with self-confidence of the countrymen, and owning houses under PMAY Grameen amplifies this confidence and make them believe that they can overcome any problem in life. The Prime Minister released the financial assistance of around 2,691 crore rupees to 6,10,000 beneficiaries in Uttar Pradesh today through a video conferencing. The assistance includes a release of first installment to 5.30 lakh beneficiaries and second installment to 80,000 beneficiaries who have already availed the first installment of assistance under PMAY Grameen. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister said that the PMAY Grameen was launched 5 years ago, and in this short span of time, the scheme made the poor people of the country believe that they can have their own house.
गांव के उन गरीबों तक सबसे पहले पहुंचे जो घर की उम्मीद छोड़ चुके हैं। दूसरा, हमने कहा आवंटन में पूरी पारदर्शिता हो।
In Assam, addressing the media in Guwahati on Wednesday, Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora said that after reviewing with senior officials and law enforcing agencies, the overall law and order situation in Assam is under control. Arora appealed to the political parties and general public to maintain peace and harmony for a smooth polling. He also urged them to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols. The polling hour will be increased by 1 hour due to the COVID-19 situation, and polling booths will also be increased. The CEC also said that the entire polling process will be completed before CBSE exams on May 4th and also before the Rongali Bihu. Special observers will be deputed to oversee the poll process. Home Minister Amit Shah will chair the 69th plenary session of North Eastern Council NEC in Shillong, Meghalaya on 23rd and 24th January. During the two-day session, there will be presentations from the Ministry of Development of North Eastern Region, donor CEC, the state governments, as well as selected central ministries on various developmental initiatives and future plans for the Northeast region. The plenary session is expected to deliberate on the progress of ongoing projects, confirmation of the proceedings of the 68th plenary meeting, outlays by central ministries in the Northeastern region, and plans for the period beyond March 2021 during the term of the 15th Finance Commission. The meeting will be attended by the Minister of Donor, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and members of NEC consisting of the governors and chief ministers of the 8 northeastern states and other members. The budget session of the Parliament will begin on the 29th of this month. Briefing reporters in New Delhi today, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said the first part of the session will conclude on 15 February, which will have 12 sittings. He said the second part of the budget session will begin on 8 March and will conclude on 8 April, and it will have 21 sittings. Birla said the seating arrangements have been made in view of COVID-19 guidelines. He said Rajya Sabha will function from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Lok Sabha will function from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. The budget session will commence with President Ramnath Kovind's address to the joint sitting of both the houses. The union budget will be presented on 1st February. A three-day session of the Assam Legislative Assembly has been summoned by Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi. The three-day session will commence from February 11 next. The session will be the last session of the present BJP-led alliance government in Assam. State Finance Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma will present a vote on account budget for a few months of the year 2021-22 during the three-day assembly session. The session of the Assam Assembly will meet at 9:30 in the morning at the Assembly Chamber in Dispur on February 11. The 10th round of talks between central government and farmers representatives is underway in New Delhi. The 9th round of talks held on the 15th of January had remained inconclusive. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar had said that the unions have been asked to form informal groups among themselves and submit a draft to the government regarding their demands. Tomar said government is concerned about the farmers protesting in the cold conditions. Now it's time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Got it. सोचिए अगर असल जिंदगी में ऐसी हालत हो तो कितनी मुश्किलें होती हैं, लेकिन शुक्र है बैंकिंग के लिए नहीं। अगर आपकी उम्र 70 साल से अधिक हो या आप दिव्यांग हो तो बैंक आपको कुछ जरूरी बैंकिंग सुविधाएं घर बैठे-बैठे दे सकता है। आरबीआई कहता है जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
Welcome back. United States President-elect Joe Biden and his deputy Kamala Harris will be sworn in as the 46th President and the 49th Vice President of the United States today. Harris will make history as America's first woman and first person with South Asian roots to take the office of the Vice President. Joe Biden will take the oath on his 127-year-old family Bible, which will be held by his wife, Dr. Jill Biden. The inauguration will take place amid a deadly coronavirus pandemic that has infected over 2.4 crore Americans and killed 3.9 lakh patients so far. The ceremony comes days after an unprecedented storming of the U.S. Capitol building, which is the seat of the U.S. Congress, by pro-Trump supporters who took over the building, leading to the evacuation and lockdown of the Capitol and 5 deaths. NITI Aayog today released the second edition of the India Innovation Index 2020 today. The index demonstrates the government's continued commitment towards transforming the country into an innovation-driven economy. While releasing the India Innovation Index 2020 in New Delhi, Vice Chairman of NITI Aayog Rajiv Kumar said the index illustrates that India is on the right path and the states are endeavoring to improve their innovative ecosystem. In the Innovation Index 2020, the states and union territories have been divided into 17 major states, 10 Northeast and Hill states and 9 union territories and small states for effectively comparing their performance. In the Northeast and Hill states category, Himachal Pradesh stands at first position, followed by Uttarakhand and Manipur.
That as we march towards becoming a 5 trillion economy, innovation will play a key role in upholding the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
We have, as I think Neeraj mentioned, Dr. Ms. Neeraj Sinha, there is a global innovation index.
Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal has launched a scheme for strengthening local industries and rural economy. Swami Vivekananda Assam Youth Empowerment Scheme, or SOYAM, at Amingaon in Guwahati on Wednesday. The Assam government relaunched the SOYAM scheme to provide self-employment to around 2 lakh youths of the state. Urging beneficiaries of the scheme to utilize the money in productive way, Sonowal in his address said the scheme will help the youths of the state to become self-employed. Under the scheme, state government will provide 50,000 rupees each to 2 lakh youth to encourage entrepreneurship. The scheme was initiated and managed by Department of Industries and Commerce, Assam, but from last year the scheme has been implemented by State Finance Department in association with other nodal agencies.
গতিকে এতিয়া কংগ্ৰেছে হক এক্সৱাইজেড যিমানে নহয় হাজাৰ শক্তি একেলগে মিলিত হলেও অসমৰ ৰাইজৰ আৰু হৃদয় জয়।
India will start supplying COVID-19 vaccines from today, paving the way for many mid and lower income countries to get supplies of the easy-to-store vaccine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a tweet said India is deeply honored to be a long-trusted partner in meeting the healthcare needs of the global community. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said Government of India has received several requests for the supply of Indian manufactured vaccines from neighboring countries and key partner countries. In response to this request and in keeping with India's stated commitment to use India's vaccine production and delivery capacity to help all of humanity fight the COVID pandemic, supplies under grant assistance to Bhutan, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar and Seychelles will begin from today. India continues to leap ahead in its fight against COVID-19 with over 1,245,000 cumulative recoveries so far. With this, the national recovery rate has further improved to stand at 96.70%. The rate of newly daily infection slipped to reach 30,283 cases in the past 24 hours. During the same interval, nearly 17,000 people successfully recovered from the viral contagion. The current active caseload comprises 1,97,000 people and stand at merely 1.86% of the total cases reported so far. The number of countrywide fatalities continues to remain below 200 mark, with 162 deaths being reported since yesterday. And the COVID update from the region, Arunachal Pradesh has 52 active cases with a total 16,707 recoveries. The death toll remains at 56. Manipur now has 235 active cases with a total 28,298 recoveries. The death toll is 367. In Meghalaya, the active cases now stands at 133 with a total 13,433 recoveries. The tally for the date remains at 144. Mizoram has recorded 67 active cases with 4,258 recoveries. The death toll is 9. In Nagaland, active cases are now 122, followed by 11,866 discharged cases. The number of deaths is 88. Sikkim now has 156 active cases with 5,765 recoveries. The number of the dead is 131. Lastly, Tripura shows 38 active cases with 32,907 discharged cases, while the death toll remains at 391. As part of data of Health and Family Welfare Department of Assam, the state has recorded 23 fresh cases out of the 17,586 tests conducted in the last 24 hours. Also, with 103 discharges reported in the past 24 hours, the total discharged cases in the state now stands at 2,13,081. The total COVID positive cases in the state is now 2,16,887. Meanwhile, the total number of deaths in the state stands at 1,075. In Meghalaya, the Election Commission will introduce the e-Electors Photo Identity Card or e-Epic on January 25th. Informing the state's Chief Electoral Officer, Frederick Roy Kharkongor, said the ECI, which has been in the forefront of technological innovations, will be announcing the introduction of the e-Epic on the National Voters' Day. The introduction of the e-Epic is also in line with this year's theme on the National Voters' Day, which is to make voters empowered, vigilant, safe and informed. And to end the news, there are the main points once again. Atmanirbhar Bharat has connected with Housing for All, says Prime Minister Modi. Financial assistance worth rupees 2,000 crore released for beneficiaries under PMAY Grameen. Assam election to be held keeping in mind the Rangali Bihu Festival and CBSE board exams, says Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora. Home Minister Amit Shah to chair 69th plenary session of North Eastern Council in Shillong on 23rd and 24th January. Budget session of Parliament to begin on 29th of January. And Niti Aayog releases second edition of India Innovation Index 2020. In Northeastern Hills States category, Himachal Pradesh stands at first position, followed by Uttarakhand and Manipur. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.